Hi, today I just want to talk a little bit about raising our frequency. I get a lot of questions about that, and I'm just gonna do a spontaneous YouTube on it. There are many ways that we can raise our frequency, and in essence, the one that resonates most with you, or the ones that resonate most with you and seem the most easy to do initially, would be the ones to start with. So first of all, I'm an advocate for breathing. So one of the ways in which you literally change the way you think and the way you see the world and the way you can observe life and respond to life is deeply affected by how you breathe. So even while you're listening to me chatting now in my little YouTube, if you can be aware of your breath and you inhale, belly expanding, rib cage opening, breathing into the collarbone, softly exhaling back down, bringing the belly back towards the spine, then that already will help you to raise your frequency. Another very obvious one that I think everybody knows about is to drink water, and to drink clean water. Water that isn't just purified and filtered, but also has minerals placed back into it. Like, for example, there are certain filters. I won't get into the names of them, but there are filters that are doing that. They will basically purify the water and take out any chemicals that are in there, from obviously keeping it clean and for it to be used in our system. And they will add back minerals and all sorts of trace elements, which are very important. If you look back at, our original nature would be to get spring water, and we have kind of stopped all these kinds of natural ways in which we used to get trace elements. So good water is important because a great part of our body, it doesn't matter what percentage, but it's a massive part, so we don't need to get intellectual about it, but a huge part of our body is made up of water, and water is used to cleanse. So if you've got stress, or if you are eating food that isn't always perfect, which is basically all of us, because whatever we're getting, it's very, very difficult to get pure food. So let's just totally relax about that. But to give your body, which is highly intelligent, a chance to purify you again, giving it that really good quality water makes a big difference. These are two simple things for now. So the breath is also cleansing, by the way. It is also harmonizing, and it will help you to come from the fight or flight stress response, which is shallow breathing and fast breathing, into the opposite, which is the relaxation response, which is the healing response in the body. So through the breath, you're literally switching a signal in that way and telling your body, okay, I don't have to worry about something that I'm imagining. I'm not going to let the stress in my life stop my body from healing itself. So I'm going to breathe in a way that sends the signal of relaxation. Therefore, my immune system will improve, my digestion will improve, my self-healing capacity will improve massively, because as you can imagine, if you are under stress, your body is prepared to defend itself, run or defend, and so it's not going to worry about little details that are temporarily unimportant, which is like repair, for example, internal repair, all kinds of processing. So it's quite logical, and so just keep that in mind. To relax is really important. You can save yourself a lot of money on health bills and on sleeping pills to sleep, or anxiety problems later on, if you know how to relax a bit more, making it a pattern. And this is why our breathing cycle actually does naturally induce that, and we tend to ignore that by drinking a coffee or whatever people do and going, no, I can't afford to stop now, I need to keep going. When you feel that slump, it's actually healthy to take a break, to take 5 minutes out, to meditate and breathe, maybe go for a short 5-minute walk, and then keep going. It's a natural signal to look after your body. Your body is saying, hey, you need a bit of maintenance. It's like you wouldn't drive your car and expect it to keep driving without you getting it a service and putting petrol in once a week, or depending on how far you drive. Well, we're trying to do everything possible to not put that petrol in and to avoid the service, and then you know, we either upgrade, which is a bit like we leave the body and get a new life, or we just scraping it along and hope for the better and put little plasters on and little temporary fixes that give us the illusion that things are okay, but they end up catching up with us. So are you still breathing nice and slowly and being aware of the breath, feeling the body as it responds to the breath? So we've got the breath, we've got water. These are simple, free things. Well, the water filter may cost some money, but believe me, it's worth it for you to get that. And then we have many other techniques, like spending time in nature. If you can make an appointment in your diary to go into nature, minimum once a week, ideally every day. And in nature, if you can get your feet in contact with the earth, not the concrete, not with shoes on, but get your feet into that earth connection dynamic, moist earth or sand or beach or whatever, wherever you are, that's going to help also detox, release stress from the body, clear the energy field. And in yogic terms, we say and know that all disease starts from the auric field. This is a field before it manifests in the more solid feeling body. So this will clean your aura, and you know the sea air is good for that. You know the forest and the mountain, everybody knows it. Thank God we haven't lost the capacity to realize when nature is so beautiful and healing. So putting that in your diary is really kind of important. Like, oh no, I can't go out, I can't do this, I'm not gonna watch that movie, I'm not gonna watch 1,000 Netflixes, whatever people do. I'm not going to play another game of whatever it is, Candy Crush or something, I don't know, whatever. Or I'm not gonna have, what is your addiction, what is your thing that you think is helping you to break away from your stress? Switch that and use the nature and go into nature and get that life force, get that fresh air and get that connection. And at the same time, you're going to have a meditative effect. You're going to have more capacity to tune into yourself, and that in itself is a great benefit. You will hear your own inner voice rather than all these other dynamics around you that are trying to kind of subtly tell you, do this, do that, you need to do this, you need to do this to please the world, your boss, your friendship, your relationship, your parents, your kiddies, whatever you have. You want to come into your own message, your own deeper truth, from which other things can follow. And that's not a selfish thing, that's called alignment. So some of us have been programmed to think that's selfish and, you know, we need to do what our children say or our parents. But they are not living our life and they don't know. And deep down, believe me, when you are aligned with yourself, you're going to be a better parent or a better daughter or son or wife or husband. So they're gonna go, wow, well, thank God you're looking after yourself because you are so amazing, you know. They don't realize it. Only you can realize this for yourself. And really you are also leading by example then for the next generation or previous generations that can notice, wow, you know, ever since so-and-so looked after herself or himself, you know, everything changed and became better. It's just amazing. The other thing that's really good for detoxing or living your higher vibration is to observe your thoughts. And a great way to do that is to start writing down your thoughts freestyle without judgment and noticing how many of those thoughts are actually useful and how many of them are actually blocking you from feeling joyful and free and creative to do what you want to do. Because some thoughts, even though they keep coming back, they are a habitual thing and they're not actually uplifting you. They're getting you stuck and they're making you feel like it's too hard to create a change or to, what can I say, to come out of this heaviness. It can really, really weigh you down, and it's only a thought packet, a packet of information. And when you see it for what it is, it's like someone delivering a mail to you and it's every time telling you something negative, like you should do this, you're not good enough at this. Well, what would you do with that letter? You'd go, well, thanks a lot. You'd throw it in the bin, right? Usually. Well, why are we reading that and engaging in it and believing it? It's the same thing. A thought packet comes and it could be from anybody. It doesn't matter who. If it doesn't serve to uplift you and if it doesn't serve to make you feel, yeah, you know, I can do this and I feel inspired, then that is a negative kind of energy, which is like a heavy toxicity. It's mental toxicity, you could say. And that wears you down and that changes the chemistry. And then same thing. It's a feeling that you are not living up to your vibration, because you are infinite potential. Quantum physics has shown it, the yogis have known it. So it's only that separate ego that likes to complicate that, and that's okay. It's not like an evil thing. It's just that we are ready to, you know, more than ready, overdue, to realize that we don't need to believe that old way anymore. We do not need to compete with everybody. We can realize that we are all in this one big boat or soup together, and we can all shine our lights, our unique capacity to help each other and to just express who we are as a creative being, as an intelligence. So that's another thing. If you write all those things down and look at that, you might go, wow, this is a repeating pattern. And this, you could even ask your family, what are the repeating things I say that you think are negative? They will know. And you can do the same and ask your kids or your parents or someone, you know. By the way, I've noticed you think this a lot. And actually, do you think that's working for you? You can just leave it at that. Do you think that's working? Or how is that working for you? And you know, you don't want to tell someone what to do. You want to get them to just wonder, hey, you know, this might be a point, because our nature is not to want to be told what to do. Our nature is to want to feel inspired, supported, yes, and to feel that we have realized something ourselves. So if you journal that down and find your own thing, you can then share that with someone and they can choose to want to do the same. That's a very good approach. So you don't tell somebody what to do. Definitely that creates resistance instantly. It's a program that most people have, and you have to be very conscious not to have that instant pushback on something like that. Now, another one is sleep. If you can try to regulate your sleep, now that is another YouTube in itself, because I've always been passionate about sleep, but since I'm studying it at university and doing a PhD on sleep research and breathing, I have got so much to share about that. And the main thing I want to share right now is, if you want to feel better, age less quickly, have more cognitive function, as in make better decisions, feel more emotionally balanced, if you want to have a better digestion, better immune system, feel more energy in life, and really basically feel better on every level, try to get regular good sleep. Really value that, because that's the elixir of human potential, in my opinion. And I will explain why in another separate YouTube, and I will, you will be able to look out for that. So yeah, so sleeping at a regular time really helps. Making sure you get your sleep before 12 o'clock every night is very essential. Certain things are released only between 10 p.m. and 12 midnight. For example, human growth hormone. If you were to Google that, that is a youthfulness hormone, and that's particularly secreted at that time. You are basically missing out, and putting potions on your face and makeup is not gonna make up for it. It's gonna just look like you've got makeup on, or you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on eye creams, and the body has the capacity to repair everything if you give it a chance. And if you sleep well, it's gonna have not just the benefit of looking younger and feeling better, but also it really reverses your aging, and it really gives you energy to be and live who you are. So it elevates your frequency as well. So here is another tip. And so if you have got sleep issues, really look at that. Ask me questions if you want to. Looking at that is incredibly powerful. Remember that if someone has a lot of sleep deprivation, they literally can change personality and go mad, even within a few days, if not 1 week. It has been a torture during wartime to make you do anything. So it is essential. Everything happens when you sleep, that you need to integrate yourself. So if you have got issues sleeping, think about that. And I will talk about that another time, about how you can enhance that and how you sabotage your sleep. Many things linked to sleep issues, from metabolism changes, i.e. weight gain, to depression, to mood swings, suicidal tendencies, greater addiction to things, because sleep deprivation may help you make worse decisions, and you want to compensate with other things that are not so great, to feel energy, to feel alive, to feel like something's happening. It's very psychological as well, and affects you on all levels, relationships included. So another way to elevate your frequency and to really therefore also transmit that energy, embrace who you really are, and connect to like-minded people is also to consider who you hang out with. I know that sounds a bit rough sometimes, but sometimes we have patterns to be the savior, the helper, and we have a lot of compassion or empathy for people, and that's cool. And I very much relate to that, and I really find all people amazing in their own way, because everyone has a gift. But some people do eventually wear you down, and some people can really impact on you. If you've got too many people like that in your life and they don't want to change, they don't want to uplift with you because you are maybe an uplifting presence to them, then you might have to limit your exposure. It's a bit like an exposure thing, and just make a decision to spend that time rather on your own, or to, as you elevate, you make new connections to people that are more on your frequency, and then together you rise, and you can also therefore serve the world in a much higher way, on a more bigger global level, rather than just in your household, for example, or your community, even though that's really wonderful too. And so supporting each other like that is really powerful. So there are many, many ways to raise your frequency, but a great self-care is important for that. Knowing that as you raise your frequency, things magnetize towards you. So you don't need to chase things as much, and you don't need to really vibrate with things that are of lower frequency that generally affect everything. So that self-care is really important. Do some exercise that you like is also really important. 20 minutes a day, you know, is a walk, or some home exercises, stretches, dancing, putting on your favorite music and going crazy for 20 minutes. Obviously I'm into yoga. I teach Kundalini yoga. I believe that that is an amazing thing to do for me anyway. It depends on your teacher. It depends on their philosophy. There's different ways of teaching it. Most important thing is that you honor yourself, your truth, and work at your own capacity. This should be the way for all yogas, and then you have that true union with yourself, from which you make amazing decisions that honor who you are uniquely. There's no one like you, so only you can know. So there's many more other things that I could suggest, but for now I'm going to leave it there. And what I recommend is, as you are still breathing consciously and your shoulders are relaxed all the time, write some of this down. When the YouTube finishes or during it, just write down, how are those sections in my life? I want to elevate my frequency. Write down those pointers and just see where you could make even a small change. Every small change can make a huge difference, trust me. It just creates a momentum, and even that intent and the commitment to yourself creates new opportunities that you didn't see before. They were right there, but you didn't see them. It's absolutely amazing. I have known that and experienced it, and many of my friends or clients or students also have. It's just the way things are. You can't see things unless you are on a capacity or awareness to recognize that. So open up your field, open up your vibration, open up and expand with those simple, very simple things. But guess what? You don't need complicated things. This is also again a sign of the ego. The ego thinks that, oh, we need to do this course, and the more we pay, the better it is, and the more complicated it is. It's not true. What's happened is that in this world, we seem to have forgotten the simplicity of doing what our ancestors have done. Now, I'm not saying they were the most healthy, but they got some things right. They were eating seasonally. They were tending to be more in tune with nature because life was more basic. They also walked a lot more because cars were not so, you know, totally assumed. And of course, there was none of that mobile phone stuff. So they actually, potentially, if they were healthy, were having great conversations with people, and you know, having a community was easier too. We now do things differently. So there's lots and lots of things that that we need to actually simplify about, and they'll be very, 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 very powerful. Then let's combine modern world benefits, like all this amazing availability of health food that we have, with that wisdom and with our flow to be still in alignment with what our body was designed like to be like because our body has always been a certain way for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we are changing so much now. So all we need to do is combine that wisdom with our modern day awareness, and we can literally fly, like metaphorically speaking. So consider that. Meditate lots if you can. You know, there are millions of ways to meditate. I teach lots of styles of meditation. Whatever works for you is what is your style. And maybe I will make YouTubes on the different styles of meditation as well. But if you're free, come on a Thursday. If you are in Adelaide, if you're not working, at lunchtime between 1:10 and 2 o'clock, I teach various styles and techniques in the Burnside Ballroom. And yeah, I draw on lots of techniques, because I've been teaching this kind of thing since, yeah, my early 20s, and I've done lots of training, but also lots of personal experience, and just amazing. And it's my absolute joy. So yeah, I'll leave it at this, but honor yourself. As the world is changing, this is essential so that we can get through this change, and that you can really vibrate high. Really realize who you are, which is much more than this body and that you think you might be. It is absolutely incredible and infinite. And even if you don't believe it, just try it and open up to that possibility if you haven't got it already, and you will see that the universe will reflect that back to you. That's how powerful belief and mind is. And vision. Remember that there's millions of bits of information around us that are constantly there. We only collect a small spectrum of what we expect and what we're programmed to see. There's so much more around us in terms of vision, sound, perception. So that's the same analogy as what I just said. There is much more, and we have to vibrate higher to perceive that frequency, and that is elevation and embracing. And so prepare your vessel to hold that higher frequency by eating healthy food, drinking lots of water, getting the rest, so your biology is supportive of your spiritual growth or your expanded consciousness. Otherwise, it's like a step forward. You've got it. You've got a spiritual experience. You've got awareness. And then, you know, you go back to drinking wine at night, which is not that great for you, I'm sorry to say, or eating certain foods that are low frequency. And then you go back to that old space, maybe, you know, old patterns. And they can then get stuck again for years, days, months, who knows? Depends on your style of living and what you've been doing. So observe that. Even put a diary out and notice how you are, depending on whether you've been drinking wine or not, or what company you've been around, what thoughts have elicited that. Become your own investigator. Don't you think you deserve it? It's like, you know, like when we have a car, we look for a problem to fix it. When we go to hospital, you know, you want a doctor to fix everything. When you go to psychologist, or when you reflecting on books, or when you are going and looking at cool clothes or haircuts or whatever, you're looking to get the most. Well, reflect on, you deserve it, where you can notice patterns and change them for the better, because they've served you until now, definitely. But now is a new point. Now is a new decision. Now is a new potential. Absolutely. This moment is the point of power. So if you can forget the past and forget the future, even right now, and just know that you are a creator in that way. And as you vibrate, you project and attract, then you realize the power is fully here and now. Forgive yourself. Let go of that stuff, even if it's just temporarily, okay? And then notice that, you know, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has had to learn things. These are not mistakes. They are divine, you know, karmic experiences. As long as you learn the lesson, boom, done. You know, really. It's as if we keep repeating it that we have to reflect more. So in this moment, you can change your life, your career. You can enhance your relationship. You can enhance your energy levels. You can do a million things, literally. What is it that you want? Write it down. The sky is the limit. The universe is the limit. And it's just obvious because we are connected to everything. We're not even separate. Quantum physics has shown this. There is no beginning and end, really. It's only our perception of that. So if you expand your perception and go further than that to our unique capacity, I'm not saying you should pretend and just live like your head in the cloud. No, feel that through that breath change, through that dietary change, through the sleeping, through the water intake, through reflecting on the company you keep. Notice different things appearing, different states of mind, because as your brain chemistry changes, and that changes through breathing, it changes through how you look after the body and your general outlook in life and the company you keep. As that changes, you see different things, and you will look back and go, wow, man, life used to be so different. And yeah, it happens to a lot of people. So I'll stop for now. I hope you feel inspired. I'm speaking my experience, I'm speaking what I've observed, and I also am speaking what the yogis have talked about and quantum physics is showing, and what people that are very successful in a holistic way, not just financially but emotionally and financially, and you know, working also to help the planet and the people, they all pretty much say the similar things. I do observe and I do notice what they do, and it's always about the gratitude, the body care, exercise, meditation. So I'm gonna be saying the same thing as are hundreds of people out there, but we all say it in our unique little way. And who knows, maybe you resonate with me, maybe you are one of my students, or you know me, and this is what makes a difference, and you want to connect on that, or you want to maybe have an NLP or hypnosis session, or do more yoga practice, or just, you know, come to meditation, or enjoy the YouTubes. Absolutely, do what feels good. And make sure, put that in your diary every day. Make some time for yourself. You need to be your priority. Remember that, not just for you, but for your family and friends and the world. Every day, ideally. Even if it's 5 minutes, ideally an hour, even better 2 hours. Okay, have a great day, evening, wherever you are. Enjoy the moment and realize that the point of power is now, and you have that inside you. And what is the purpose in dwelling in the past? Yes, if there's something there, work through it so you can let go of it. Be free. Shh. Fly. In your mind, in your body, in your spirit, in your creativity, in your intelligence. Okay, I really want to keep talking. I don't even know why, but it's just something I'm very passionate about. I'll make a separate YouTube about sleep and things like this. But feel free to ask me questions. Take excellent care of yourself, and see you next time. Thank you.